It's the Vape Fam. What's happening, guys? This is Joval Vapes coming at you, bringing it to you typical PNW style. We're talking about Badger Juice today, folks. If you've never tried it, it's pretty darn good stuff, okay? There's tons of new brands out on the market, but there's some pretty tried and true ones that have been sticking around for quite some time. We're going to be talking about those today. So, got my little cheat sheet with me here because my brain isn't as big as it was when I was younger and not nearly as old and wise. I think when you get old and wise, you tend to lose a little bit for everything that you gain. So, all right, let's not get into that one. But anyways, the blueberry cotton candy is what we're talking about today from Badger Juice. Now, this is pretty decent stuff. Max VG in all 5 of these flavors. You got a couple there, you got a couple more here. So, you know, it could be anywhere between 90-10, 80-20, 70-30, but it's not going to be any lower than a 70-30 on that one, okay? So, typically, the higher the PG, the better the flavor. This one really isn't all that bad, though. I liked all of these, save just a few little subtle nuances that we're going to get into. So first of all, the blueberry cotton candy. If most of you guys know me, you know I love blueberry flavors, pretty much anything. This stuff was really true to profile. So I'm going to grade and scale these each individually one by one just to make it a little bit simple, because there are varying subtleties to ones that I like and don't like nearly as much. The cotton candy flavor on this was spot on. So straight up sugary goodness right from the fair, you know what I mean? The blueberry was pretty good. It was a little bit candy-esque in nature, but it was still fairly decent. So the blend and the mixology in that one went across really well. On the inhale, I got a nice candy, kind of a blueberry flavor with just an envelopment of a solid, really nice cotton candy taste. Very refreshing, really decent stuff. So this one was very good in terms of profile and consistency. That's why on those alone, I'm giving a 5 out of 5 on each one of those. Throat hit across the board is pretty much the only thing that hits across the board, other than a few other things on the scale factor. That gets a 0. Good nicotine extract on this one. The sweet gets a 5 out of 5, obviously. And you were definitely talking about high cloud production, since it's a max VG, 5 out of 5 on the cloud production. So the blueberry cotton candy by Badger Juice, very decent stuff. My little 15 milliliter bottles here. Sure, you can get these guys in the 30s. I don't know if you can get them in the 60s, but check them out. The Anarchy T is the next flavor, and Anarchy T is touted as just a plain good old peach tea. Now this stuff, I vaped it, it tasted a lot more peachy than it did tea. So, you know, maybe the blend could have been just a little bit heavier. The mixology was very good, though. So you had a definite give and take between the two flavors. The bouquet is absolutely out of sight. So the one thing I love about this stuff is the peach definitely hits you right spot on. Maybe they did that way, you know, on purpose, so that the tea would just kind of come up on the back end. Tea is typically either a very bitter or a very deep flavor just in its quality. So I think it's really helping to bring out the peach, but the peach is definitely the predominant flavor on this one. So if you like kind of a weak tea, which I kind of do, I'm weird that way, this one I think is going to be really good, especially for the summertime. Very light, very refreshing. So on a level of 1 to 5, 0 to 5 really, on the sweet scale, I'm definitely going to give it a 4. A high 4 on this one, though. But since the tea kind of has that bitter taste, it brings the sweetness down just a tinge. 0 again on the throat hit, 5 out of 5 on the cloud production, and consistency and profile, 5 out of 5 each on this one, because the layers were there and the description was true. So Anarchy Tea, a typical peach tea, very solid stuff. The next flavor is Leprechaun Jewels. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, it is not a cereal vape. This one is actually a strawberry candy flavor. This kind of impressed me, because the candy flavors I don't dig. I really just, they're okay from time to time just to sweeten up the palate, cleanse it a little bit from some of the heavier stuff, you know what I mean? But this one, you know, kind of impressed me. The flavor of the strawberry alone, fairly solid, decent to profile, and of course, the candy flavor came across as pretty solid. A little bit reminiscent of the blueberry cotton candy taste that we talked about before. So had that kind of that candy flavor going on, a solid strawberry flavor, and the mixology was pretty darn solid. So you're not really tasting anything overly candy, overly solid. On the strawberry flavor, you're getting everything right across the middle. So on the inhale, it's a very decent, even though it's a binary flavor, mixture of both. And on the exhale, you're getting a little bit more strawberry than you are, anything else. So it's a very good blend. Tasty for the candy lovers, and the candy lovers are basically kind of like the dessert vapors. You got your all-day vapes, and you tend to stick in that happy little bubble and just try, new things every now and then. So on a scale of 0 to 5, I give it a 5 out of 5 on the sweet. Of course, another 0 on the throat hit, 5 out of 5 on cloud production, and of course consistency and profile, 5 out of 5 on each one of those as well, because what you read is definitely what you're tasting. So Crackberry is the next flavor from the Badger Juice, and the Crackberry, looking at my little cheat sheet here, is a blackberry tart. So this stuff will pretty much knock your socks off. If you dig blackberry, which I love, that's going to be the exception to the berry vape, kind of ins and outs, 50-50 on the berry vapes for me. But the tart flavor really comes through, and when I say tart, we're talking, cheek pucker tart here. Even just smelling the stuff, aside from vaping it, very, very tart. Definitely gonna get you right here. I'm swapping out, I must have about a half a dozen of these Vengeance 7 tanks that I swap out the flavors with. It's a hot day, and a little bit of blackberry tart tastes pretty darn good right now. So I'm gonna give this stuff, tart and kind of tangy stuff is kind of weird, because on the sweet scale, it's not very sweet, but it's tart. But the sweetness is still there. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and give it a 5 out of 5 for the sweet. Everything else pretty much gets a 5 out of 5, obviously, except for the throat hit. So far, Badger Juice is really batting straight A's on this one. So the last but not least flavor is Dark Matter. And the Dark Matter is a blueberry yogurt. This was definitely my favorite out of the 5. The blueberry flavor on this, very, very true to profile. Solid blueberry taste, not quite natural, but better than most of the artificial flavors out on the market that I've tasted from quite a many e-juice blends out there. The mixology was very solid. The yogurt was really what made the Dark Matter very, very tasty. Not too deep and rich, but extremely creamy and light in flavor. True to profile on the cream for the yogurt blend, but just dense enough and decadent to come across as more of a yogurt than a cream. You know what I mean? So the blend was very solid. Mixology was very true. On the inhale, you get a good blueberry taste, a very refreshing, light, airy taste. And then on the exhale, it dissipates with a very decadent, creamy consistency on that yogurt, but you still get a good binary inclusion on the inhale as well as the exhale. So once again, the mixology and the blend was very solid on these. I definitely don't think you need to steep these by any means, but do yourselves a favor. Go on to Badger Juice on Instagram, follow the link on their page, check these guys out. They might have more flavors than 5 available for you now. I've had these for just a bit. Badger Juice, I want to thank you guys for your support for Joe of All Vapes, and all of you guys for checking out this review. If you like it, definitely go on to Instagram, give Badger Juice some love, and check out more of their pictures and their flavors, if any. Think about purchasing some of this stuff for yourself, because that's how we keep advocacy alive. That's another big part of it, folks, is just buying retail. Really help support great companies, improve what they do, and bring about a lot of awesome things like discounts, brand new juice, new lines, awesome stuff for the future. And we're really trying to still stay alive. So, do your part, guys. Check out Badger Juice. If you dug this review, I've got many more reviews coming up throughout the months and till kingdom come, as far as I know, till the fat lady sings. Spread the word here, Joe of All Vapes on YouTube. Check me out at Joe of All Vapes on Instagram. I've got a lot of great discounts for most of my sponsors, if not all of them. Great companies with great people that really love to help support the community and raise advocacy, folks. So check that out. Just want to say one last thing. Thank you for sticking it with me here. Appreciate it. Love yourselves, love each other, and you keep it cloudy. As always.